Good morning, everyone. Jeanine heard you from my Instagram page. Good morning to you. Good morning, world. It's been one of those mornings which are perfect. Coffee, I'm at WeWork. I haven't been at a WeWork in a long time, and I love it. Got my favorite Dior lipstick. Good morning, Natalia. So cool, you're catching me live. Good morning, Real Connie. Elevate Interior. Anna. Good morning. So cool. Petra. You and me. I hope I'm pronouncing this correct. Tower Heart Dimension. Astrid. So cool, you guys catching me live. Love it. Always so grateful if you say good morning. Good morning, Marcel, Marina. Hello, hello, hello. Also always excited when you're catching the replay. If you leave a heart, say hi later. Yeah, so here I am in Berlin. Haven't been in Germany for over 2 years now. I would phrase it's an interesting experience. But nothing a good coffee. My favorite Dior lipstick, which is, I realized today, it's called B Dior. It's B Dior number 976. And I don't know if you can see, but it's like a rose with a glitter, like a pink reddish glitter. It's a really it's my favorite color. B Dior. A Dior Addict lipstick. So, since we talked now about all the very important things, let's get to business. I actually have a super important appointment tomorrow, and that's why we're having the weekly money talk on Thursday, because I didn't want to cancel it, and I feel it's starting to become a thing. It's actually the 12th money talk I've been doing this week. Wild, huh? We've been in a new season for 12 weeks already. So if you're new to the money talk, you also can go back and you will see there's so many replays of different topics I've done on money, everything. And it's a thing. We just meet, we talk about money, things that are popping up, things which I've been contemplating on, I feel like I want to share. And this week, I realized one thing. I saw this happening a lot, and sometimes I feel when we are navigating through things which are a bit difficult, or you would label as a season of low, a season of, hello Bettina, good morning, catching me live too, a season of struggle, a season maybe also in which money is not flowing as much as you desire or you're not used to. A lot of times what people do, and this is actually one thing I've never done it. This is really one thing I haven't done it. But I see a big difference. So when your business is not going as fast as you desire to, not as many clients, people do something interesting. It's like the start-stop dynamic. They start investing, they stop. They start investing, they stop. They start, they stop. They start, they stop. Either completely, or they start lowering their standard. As in, let's say you always used to be in a one-on-one coaching, close proximity, you really have a mentor you can talk to, or even a mastermind in which you can ask questions, but high-level questions. And what I see, good morning, Beata. So many familiar names and faces, beautiful, I love it. What happens then is people start investing not in their next level, but in a past version of themselves. And I saw this so often this week, and I was actually in a mastermind call myself, and someone brought this up, and I'm like, oh, so interesting. I couldn't understand because I've never done it. And the moment I understood in business that everything evolves in seasons, and I've done an Instagram post about this a couple weeks ago, that also our business moves in seasons. And wouldn't you agree? So right now we're in the winter season or entering the winter season. So you're not going to nature and saying, man, there's no seeds growing. There's nothing to harvest. Nature, I don't trust in you anymore. Nature, I think this is weird. I think it's not gonna work anymore. We don't do this because when it comes to food, for instance, we clearly see that everything evolves in seasons. There's a spring season, I'm putting the seed in. Then I'm nurturing the seeds. Summer, autumn is a harvest season. And then the winter is for resting. It's for preparing for spring again. And I've actually realized this very early in the beginning that my business also goes through seasons. And there are seasons which are all about money. And this is, for instance, when I'm like right now launching 101s, launching the mastermind for January, which is open already for sign up. Wouldn't you agree, in those seasons, I naturally will make more money than in a season in which I don't launch a 101 coaching, or a season in which I do not launch a mastermind, for instance? We would say yes. But very often what we do is we're coming from this old business background, and which teaches us that business growth should be linear like this. Or if you're coming from a big international company, they always take the last year's result and they add 5% growth. This is a lot. And this is how their business is expected to grow and to go. But us having an online business, us being our own boss, most likely your business is not going to go like this, or it's also not slightly growing at 5%. You will have peaks and different peaks. And the more you learn to navigate through them without freaking out when last month you made a high and let's say the next month you hit an income low, there's no need to freak out. There's no need to doubt, to question. Because the universal law is really simple. And the laws always work. Input equals output. I repeat, the laws are very simple. And if you're German speaking, I'm talking a lot about the universal laws and how to use them, especially to make money in my book. Go and get it. And the thing is, if input equals output, and I strongly believe this and I operate by this, there's no need to all of a sudden to start investing less in myself, because I understand maybe I'm right now putting more in and don't cashing so much, but there must be coming a season which is all about harvesting. Can you see this from nature, how it's a cycle and the cycle's complete? You're doing much more to nurture, to grow during like spring and autumn and even winter, preparing the ground and everything. There's much more input. Can you see this? The work, the energy you're putting in. The phase of letting go. Nature does its thing. It grows. And then it's a harvest season. And wouldn't you agree, at the harvest season, yes, you're obviously putting in work, but it's about harvesting. It's a very different work we are doing compared to a spring season. And the more we understand this, the more you understand this for your business, that everything happens in a season. Everything happens, you start to act differently. Because this is one thing, and I can say totally guilty. When your emotions are high, your logic, the way we think is low. So what we try not to do is when, let's say, right now you're not making the money you desire to, and then we freak out, but I gotta pay the bills, I gotta blah, 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 blah. So we're very emotional. For most people, it's actually true that they're always super emotional once it's about money. Once money is involved, people become so emotional. Although they try to be so logical, they become so emotional. In those decisions, in those emotions, you do not want to make any decisions. But what most people do, once they are in fear, they create more. They act in fear. And this is very simple. Remember, input equals output. So what you ask for in fear, you must receive in fear. What you create in fear, you must receive in fear. So you are now in this fearful energy state, and you're asking for more money, but you're just getting more financial fear. And the more you understand this, and you see this, and you live by this on a deeper level, you actually understand that you are really capable through your emotions to create as much money as you want. But the price you pay is, if you desire to have millions, multi-millions, no matter the amount, an abundance of money, the fear must go. And the more you can live by this of not being in financial fear, the faster the money comes. And this is actually true also for a lot of people. And they say like, hey Jeanine, how can I live not in financial fear, financial scarcity, however you decide to name it, if the money is not there? And this is the hardest in the beginning. Because your mind till now is always going to, but it's not true. I show you my bank account, but it's not true. I show you my bank account. And this is the trickiest part in the beginning, that it is not about what is in your life, but it's about where you desire to go. I repeat this, in your life, and cheers to that. In your life, it is not about what is happening at the moment, but it's about where you're going. And now I can ask you the question, is this beneficial? Let's say, just we take numbers as a clear example. Let's say you want to make $1 million this week. Let's say you want to make $1 million this year. Just make it simple. You want to make $1 million this year. Right now you're in debt by 5K. Something, making those numbers up. So if this is you, sorry, just random. So current financial situation of you is 5K in debt. You want to make $1 million. Now you would say, I can't do this, Jeanine, because, I'm in debt. I can't invest. I can't do this. I can't do that. I got to pay the bills. I got to pay the rent. Yada, yada, yada. I've been there. If you know my story, I've been there big times. So, but now, remember what I just said. This can be about you telling me what is, and this is your ego proving you're right. Yes, you are 5K in debt, but so what? Or we can turn this conversation, flip the coin, see it from a different part, and this is a story you're telling me that you're currently 5K in debt and you're super freaking out about it, beneficial to create $1 million? And all of a sudden, the answer becomes so obvious. It's not beneficial. It's not helping. And you can ask yourself, however, what would be beneficial? And then it comes, for instance, investing in a debt masterclass, how to handle debt. By the way, this is going to be the new masterclass. It is coming up because a lot of people ask me, hey, can you do a program training about debt? And I've been working on it a lot this week behind the scenes. So I think I'm releasing it next week. Yeah. And this is your mental power. And are you capable of being mentally so strong? Being all of a sudden emotionally so strong? And this is, to me, very interesting as a coach, because I have so many people that always say, I'm so emotional. Gosh, so emotional. But when it comes about being truly intentional with your emotions, people are not capable. And this is, I said this so often this week in my coaching programs, the price you always pay for an abundance of money is letting go of your fear. Because it's all about, and I talk about this so often, of truly becoming a money lover. Someone who loves money, someone who's in a relationship with money, someone who accepts that money is just there, like your partner in a relationship. You know, it's like you just rely, you trust. And I think this is really beautiful. And then if I would ask you, what's the opposite of being a money lover? What's the opposite of being a money lover? I'm having a sip of my coffee. I'm waiting for your responses in your chat. Gonna continue once you're writing, letting me know what you think, what the opposite is of a money lover. No one's done so. Then we can't move on. If no one has a guess what the opposite of a money lover is, money avoider. Thank you, Bettina. I love it. You're always taking the lead. A money hater. Love it. Love it, Bettina. You're just always taking the lead. It's like, if you have the chance to be with Bettina, you know, like have Bettina as a coach or be in a coaching with Bettina, it's amazing because she's always taking the lead. There's no like, let's not waste time, let's do it. And I love it. It's like really, it's her gift. Like if you are in her energy, she moves you. She moves you. This woman moves you. Money avoider, money hater, money repeller is so good. And actually we don't know this, and we would think that the opposite from like love is hate, but it's not true. The opposite of love is fear. So the opposite of a money lover is not a money repeller, hater, avoider or so. It's a person that is scared, fearful of money. And isn't that interesting? Isn't that so interesting? Meaning if I'm not able to love money, I'm not capable of doing this. It doesn't matter why. It's a whole new program we can do about this. But it means there is fear. I'm in fear of money. I'm fearful about money. Isn't it mind-blowing? And wouldn't you say, wow, this makes sense? This makes total sense. When I heard about this many years ago for the first time, actually I don't know who said it, but I'm like, oh wow, this did go straight to my heart. Like, wow, insane. I just thought, this is insane. This is so good. And I realized it was true. I didn't, every time financially, I'm not going in the direction I desire to. I'm not growing in the direction I desire to. I'm not growing as fast as I want to. I'm not hitting the income goals. Check your system. Where's the fear? Where do you find the fear? It's wild because you find it. Find the fear. There's fear of being too successful. I did a whole Facebook Live. If we're not friends on Facebook, you find me, Jeanine Hurd on Facebook. And every Wednesday I come live on my personal page on Facebook. And yesterday I did the Facebook Live, and it was about especially women have such a strong fear of being too successful, where it's coming from and what we can do to overcome. So if this is something that resonates with you, I highly recommend check it out, the live. So this is something for women, fear of being too successful, fear of being too fast. For me, especially in the beginning, was a lot of fear. Is it really so easy? Can it really be so easy? So easy. I was coming from this investment banking world, and especially if you know anything about the world, is a strong elbow mentality, and the vibe is up or out, meaning either you're being promoted every year or not. Out meaning you're being fired. So obviously I thought this was normal, this was a normal rhythm in business. And if you know my story, then you know being a woman in this industry is also not so common. And I was working for the, I don't know how to say in English, like the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, the board of the company. And I was the first person ever working at this position below 30 years. So I was only 28 and woman. And having the highest salary on that position ever. And what I've learned in this was it gotta be hard, elbows, and this hustle vibe. And really, it's up or out. Like, if you know me from the beginning as a coach, I also had, maybe you didn't see it, but I'm sharing it now. I had difficulties when also my clients were becoming too successful too fast. I had to take a breath because I understood where I was coming from, this industry, and this was meaning danger, danger. And I very often had this belief coming up, someone could take something away from me. So if, for instance, back then I was only teaching in German, so my market was German speaking, I'm like, wow, I was actually scared if like 20 more coaches would enter the market. I didn't like it. But not for the other people, but it was because I was scared. I thought, oh wow, maybe my business is going down. Maybe I'm not going to be so successful anymore. Mostly successful in financial terms for me back then. Whereas now I'm like really understanding, first of all, how different we are all. Like there's Fina, there's Marcel, Krebs a Chance, Mommy Once More, Evergrow, Bettina, Ethical Closing, Britta. Some of you I know personally, and wouldn't you all agree? Heidi, Universe of Autism. We're all so different. Not just the way we look, but the way we talk, the way we phrase things. That now I really can see, and this comes from the bottom of my heart, there can't be enough coaches. And there's always going to be enough for all of us. Enough clients, enough money, enough marketing creative ways, enough... Yeah, this business for me became really expression of my soul. My soul expresses itself, its artistic creative way through my business, through my marketing. Like, for instance, I love this when I did a masterclass, Pay What You Want. I thought this was so genius, was so much fun, I was so lit up, I really desired it. And all the marketing things, especially like the creative things, is expression of my soul. Like when I launched, and you haven't seen it, the trailer for the one-on-one coaching, and when I created this, I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart, I was there, it's like, it's so beautiful, I was so lit up, it became so creative for me. And everyone's different, and every person needs something different. Sometimes we desire a coach, and it's all in this coaching about accountability. Like, for instance, in the Money Journal, it's really we come together every single day. We do our morning routine, our evening routine. It's a different coaching versus you're in my mastermind. And some of you know this. I can trigger the shit out of you because it's all about maximum growth in this period of time for you. And I'm lovingly pushing you to the version I see in you, which is being ready to release right now. And sometimes you don't see it. And sometimes it scares the shit out of you. It triggers the shit out of you. So even myself in different coachings, I have very different faces. And different people desire something different. And the more you feel this, same with you. There are people you like, people you don't like. We all have this. But I think now there are 83 billion people on this planet. Wouldn't you agree? You're asking for 20, 50, 200, 2,000 people. That out of the 83 billion people, those people exist out there. And they're just waiting for you, and they're waiting to buy from you. And the price you pay, that they say, oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm buying from her. This is my coach. I want to learn from her. Let's do it together. is because they see your true face. They don't see a copycat version of me. They don't see, they just see you. They see you and they want you. And are you able, remember, the money lover is not the person that has any fear. It's about letting go of the fear. If you do an honest check-in, are you truly showing up right now? The way you are. Are you saying the things you desire to say? If you were in the last masterclass I did about attracting wealthy clients and the first part, the social media sequence, I was a little bit sick that day. Not sick, had a quantum leap. And I know for myself when I'm quantum leaping. And what happened is my throat chakra, it seems like I'm coughing, but I'm not. It's my throat chakra. If I don't speak truth, my voice was shaking. And so it was very interesting doing this live. Everyone always could see, okay, this is 100% truth. It was really cool to see. So do a check in. How is your body reacting when you're not speaking the truth? And are you speaking the truth on social media? Are you saying what you say? Are you saying what you truly feel? Or are you still being the nice girl? The other day I heard someone saying, the nice person in a company is the one that is sitting at the reception once you enter the building. And that person is paid minimum wage. And we see this all over the place. The people that are nice are being paid the least. Because no one pays you in this world to be nice. But people pay unlimited to see the true you, to see the real you. And in order to show this way, you will become unconventional. You will show things the world hasn't seen yet, and that is scary as F. And all I want to do for today to wrap up, like I always say, be you, be true, make millions. And you will see the more you speak up, the more you show your true, authentic self, money is becoming more and more and more. Every time you ask me, how is it possible that people pay $250,000 US for one-on-one coaching with you for 5 months? Because I say things I truly desire. I say things online other people don't. I'm not the nice girl. Sometimes I am. But the conversation we are having here is I'm your coach. I'm not your best friend. So it's my job. And maybe right now you don't pay me with money, but you pay me with your time. And wouldn't you agree, if I take my business serious, and this is me being a business and money coach, helping you to make more money in your life, my task is not to be nice, but to be the best possible coach for you when you are invested, either with your time or your money or both. And this is what people found magnetic from the beginning on. And this is when someone says, I love this, I want to learn from her, I want her as my coach, I pay. This is a price, okay. It's uncomfortable, I pay. And I see this over and over and over. And it's simple and easy and straightforward. And at the same time, it's scary as heck. And all I can tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's beautiful. You got it inside. And I always say I don't come uninvited into your life. I come invited because there's a part of you that feels like, okay, it's time. I want to show myself. I'm done hiding. I want to show myself to the world. I'm ready. And let's do it now. So this is my reminder for you for this beautiful morning. And I love you. I will see you next Friday again for our money talk. Always check my bio. I always announce the time zone in which I'm going to be in, because actually I don't know what's happening. I'm still in Berlin, at least for the weekend, but then I don't know how much longer we're going to stay or what we're going to do. So I can't tell you. the time, the time and the time zone for next week, but for sure it's happening on Friday. And if you're not on the newsletter list, we have every Wednesday we send out a secret offer, which is just part of the newsletter list. And actually, Ed told me it was supposed to be sent out yesterday. However, the email didn't get sent out because I put the wrong date. I put tonight. And we didn't realize because I was playing with my cousin's daughters. So we were not in business mode yesterday. So it's your lucky chance to get yourself on the list. And there's going to be a cool offer. And I kind of already announced what it's going to be. And I love you. I'm so happy to have you in the community. And you can do it. And I will see you somewhere on the internet or latest next Friday.